Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel of James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are also listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your selection. Hello, Pisces! Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? The Wheel of Fortune. Do we like it? Do we not like it? Well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Quite the story going on here. What's going on? There's a history, a long-standing history with somebody. It's a general read, so take it with a grain of salt, but also, even though it's the Queen of Cups, it doesn't have to be any specific gender, just whoever. This could be, for some of you, this could be somebody you work with, just to be fair. There seems like there's something that ties you to this person. It could be family, but something ties you to this person for sure. In the sense of like, I feel like you've tried to make this work. This is important for you. Okay, so I feel like you're a little disconnected at the moment with this situation. Not in a bad way, which may sound weird. Not in a bad way, but you may be disconnected in the sense of like, I'm not going to let this bother me or upset me or whatever. So I'm just like not letting it be an issue. Whatever this is means a lot to you, but there's something isn't right. Something's been said. Something's happened. You got the Wheel of Fortune here, which it depends on you. Something recently could have been good, bad, or indifferent, but even if it was indifferent, it had an effect, kind of like, oh, why was that said? And it maybe, when I say indifferent, is like, I don't know how to feel about it. That could be that type of energy. But it's one of those things where something just seems off. I don't know if it's good or bad at this point in the reading. But I also see you kind of like disconnecting from it. The writing's on the wall, but it's like, I don't want to read the wall right yet. And I don't think that's a bad thing, ironically. I feel like this is kind of like, the reason you know the writing is on the wall is to get warmed up to the thought that change is coming your way. This is like the getting ready for it phase. It's not bad that you're not really overly connecting to it. I don't feel like it's bad at all. There's something with the history of this situation that has been made more apparent to you. I feel like I either don't know how to react to it, or it doesn't feel the best. Something. The more I dig into it. And I just feel like there's something I'm looking back at, like whatever I thought it was, that's not what it was. It could be going in a positive direction, but still, it's almost like somebody might have let you know about their real feelings for you, and you didn't realize that they felt as strongly for you as they've recently let you know, and that might be jarring for you. That'd be an example of like, it's not a bad thing, but you don't know what to do with it, so you're just not letting yourself think about it too much, or it's just kind of like something you're avoiding at the moment. Could be the other side of the coin, where somebody has told you something that hurt your feelings, but you disconnected from it immediately, and you didn't let it like sink in too much, but you're like, the writing is on the wall. There's clearly a problem here. I mean, it's a general read. We gotta kind of try to cover the bases, you know what I mean? A lot of Pisces out there. Saying that as one. This next part, this has me wondering, so I'm going to do the dice. Because it's like there's information that's piling in, but nothing is changing, which makes me wonder. We're getting set up for the next change. The world is coming. There's a change coming. Something different is going to happen. The information is coming to you, but nothing is changing right now. The Hierophant is a very strong earth energy. Earth does not change on a whim. Earth does not change in 5 seconds. Earth takes, like, if you think of the tectonic plates, Like, it takes a long time for Earth to move. Earth does not move in 5 seconds. Unless, you could give me the volcano example, which is kind of like, okay, yeah, but that's a violent and we don't need that type of reaction right now. That's valid, clearly. But I'm not getting that happening in this situation. Even though the Wheel of Fortune is at the bottom here, I'm not getting any explosions or anything like popping off in a way that's going to freak anybody out. I just get that there's a lot of information coming to you, changes on the horizon. It's not meant to make you feel negative or in any negative sort of fashion. It's meant to like say, hey, this is coming. And if you're kind of dialed in the right way, like, I don't feel like I have to feel it so much as just be aware of it. This is one of those weird times where it's just like, I gotta be like intellectually aware of it. It's not about feeling it at this point, which is really interesting for a Pisces energy. I feel like, because I'm a Pisces, we have this thing, I feel like it's something that Pisces do, where we can go numb to a situation but still handle it, if that makes sense. You probably do understand what I'm saying, now that I think of it, if you're a Pisces anyway. Like, we can still handle it but go numb to it. I feel like that's where we are. And the information is piling in. It's not meant to drag you down. It's just meant to, like, set you up to know, hey, some stuff's coming. Here's the supplies you're going to have available. Here's where you're going to need to go. Here's when it's kind of coming in. I'm getting a very strong... What are we in? I feel like it's within the next 2 to 3 months, by the way. From whatever you're watching this reading, the actual change itself is happening within the next 2 to 3 months. Because these readings are timeless, so I don't want to, like... So, like, I'm doing this in the end of August, so I'm thinking by Samhain, which is Halloween for a lot of people, but, this, by the way, this is also here. This is like a vote of confidence, like saying, hey, you're not meant to fail. It's not about fail. It's about how, it's like a different version of success, but it could be uncomfortable getting there. Because, like, if you look really closely at this card, if I bring it close enough, you're walking out of the dark forest and you're going towards the light. But in my opinion, this reminds me of when you're first waking up in the morning, or maybe it's just me, and you open up the curtains and it's bright outside and you're like, oh goodness, oh, like, that's kind of what's going on. I feel like it's like, oh boy, something's different. And that grogginess, at least I have it, the grogginess where, like, for the first hour it's just like, it may be beautiful outside but I don't feel beautiful. It might be like that type of stuff, if you follow me. What is that in relation to Pisces? This one card. I don't know, because you guys have I'm a Pisces too. We have that ability to go numb to certain things, and it gets us through some hard times sometimes. Usually, as a Pisces, I'm going to say also there's the later we need to kind of unpack that in our own way, in our own time. But while certain things are happening, we do have the ability to go numb. Okay. This is in the environment. It's not a fun card. It has different flavors, conflict of some version. It doesn't have to be like a knockdown, drag-out fight, verbal or otherwise. But there's definitely conflict around this situation. Something, and this is supposed to happen, something is coming apart. Certain bonds are being questioned. There's restructuring. I feel like you're caught up in something where you're a part of a group, and it seems to, like, whoever this person is too, you're caught up in a group and there's problems here. And I just feel like there's emotional shrapnel going all over the place. And this is where that ability to, like, emotionally detach for a minute here and just kind of get through it. I feel like there's some... I'd like for it to not be true, but this reading is either going to hit or it's not. There's some rotten things probably being said to you. But I keep getting, like, in the moment, I'm just detached from it. And I'm just, like, I understand the words and what they mean, but I'm not having an emotional reaction to them at the moment. I feel like as we keep moving forward, like, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't feel like there's a conflict directed directly at you. I do feel like it's like I'm caught up in this madness, and I'm getting some like scattershot is what I really think, and it feels like it's directed directly at me. There's a lot of other problems here. So if it's a business situation, like a co-workers, if it's a family situation, something, neighbor situation, something. I feel like there's a lot of problems there, and I just feel like I'm getting some like shrapnel of this. But again, I feel like you're getting through it. As we step past that, that's where things have a chance to kind of go differently. Because that moment's going to happen. Does Pisces have to be? Because I got the Devil and I got the Four of Wands reversed. Like, it's falling apart. And there's certain things that are not fair that are falling apart. Does Pisces have to be? Like, what's the easiest road for Pisces to be effective yet not have to have the shrapnel? You don't have to be overly involved in the situation. The way I keep seeing this, like if it was a work situation and you know certain meetings or certain people are going to be in the office or something like that, you know, like, oh, this could be the time where that happens because like I see the disruption. Maybe there's a big office meeting or something. You could be conveniently sick, you know what I mean? And just, and then just be sick for like 2 days at least. There could, if it's a family thing and there's some function coming up, I almost want to use the same excuse. Oh, I'm sick. I can't, blah, blah, blah. And then just make it look good. I feel, because you're not going to get around it, but you might get, you know, if you're not physically there when things are happening, you'll hear about it afterwards if that's what you want. If you're okay with that, that's a version of this. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to kind of, because the writing is on the wall, I feel like I'm getting nervous as a certain event is coming up. And you can find a way to like not physically be there. Or if you're a person like myself and you are pretty good with like blocking energy and moving energy away from you, moving the attention away from you, do those type of things. If you're good with energy work, be careful. There's usually a balance with that. I'm just also going to say, you don't have to physically be there during, I don't know, some of you are going to show up anyway because it feels like it's the right thing to do. You got to do what you feel is right. After that moment, things can go very different for you. But it's going to be a slow and steady wins the race campaign. I don't know why we're saying campaign, but there you go. There's a misconception when this pops in. So I'm seeing if we can get it where we need to get it. There's this moment where slow and steady wins the race. Like whatever was going to hit the fan, hit the fan. Whether it was crap, baby food, or just rotten milk. Whatever it was. Whatever it was. I feel like, because sometimes even certain baby foods don't smell right. I'm just saying. It's the cleanup process. I don't feel like, take this with a grain of salt, readings for entertainment purposes only. This is not your mess to clean up. And I don't feel like I should be going too crazy cleaning up somebody else's mess. I feel like I should be more reserved and I should center my efforts elsewhere if I can. This is saying just going with it in the moment, helping people clean up somebody else, like helping people clean up a mess that was not yours. It seems like that's the natural direction you might go because it's like, well, I'm a part of this. I want to be helpful. I want to show that I care. I want to show that I'm engaged. There seems to be a lot of political reasons why I would do this. You don't have to. Keep that in mind. In fact, if you don't help people clean up somebody else's mess, it's not your mess. Whatever this is, it's not your mess. The way to do this is like to be careful with it. Try not to get overly stressed about it. Realize the situation is healing. So this is a stress card, this is the healing card. And realize that whether you're picking up everything for everybody else or not, the process is still going to go through what the process has to go through. So, like, a better way to put this is like, it's almost like even if I carry 5 bags of groceries up 2 flights of stairs, even 3 in one go, it's almost like nothing can happen until the person who's going to use that stuff is going to get there. So it's almost like, and then you're going to realize that there's 5 other people who could have helped you that you just didn't realize that it was something they were supposed to do, not you. And you dragged yourself up these 3 flights of stairs, 2 to 3 flights of stairs with 5 bags of groceries, nervous that you were going to drop them, feeling like you had to get them up there as soon as possible. And then you're going to realize now we got to wait 2 hours for the person who's going to use these groceries to get here to make what they want to make. And there was 5 other people. I didn't even have to pick up any bags of groceries. Each one of them could have bring up one of themselves, and it didn't have to be stressful like that. I didn't need to do that. We weren't going to have a better outcome just because I stressed myself to the limit. So that's a big piece of this, saying you don't need to drag yourself all over the place about this. There's the feeling empathy. There's a lot of that and kind of wanting to help and show that I care type energy going on there. But this isn't changing anything. People who know you care already knew you care. People who don't really care if you care, they're going to be the same after. This isn't going to change their mind. Sorry. Be careful. But like, you don't have to be doing everybody else's work. It's not helping the situation. It's not going to help you. It's hard to know that sometimes. We're getting to better things. Whatever this situation is, it's about getting past it, right? I feel like this reading is trying to help you not only see it coming, prepare yourself for it, and maybe have a better plan to where you're not dragging yourself up and down the stairs. You don't need to. You don't need to. And I'm going to say, as a Pisces, if I notice this happening in my life, I don't plan to. It may be a little uncomfortable to step to the side for a minute, but that short amount of feeling uncomfortable to step to the side is a lot better than having 2 to 3 months of like dragging myself up and down the stairs constantly, daily. I can take that couple moments of just being, oh, I feel awkward stepping out, but I'm going to step out. It feels awkward, feels uncomfortable. Versus like, oh my God, the last 2 months, I don't know how I lived through that. And I was so tired. I didn't have the energy for it, but I dragged myself up and down the stairs day after day after day after day. Like, just think about it that way, if that helps. Once we get to the other side of this, things start reassembling in a better way. Is that the 4? I would like my glasses, please. 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles. So things feel boiled down a little bit with this. That's interesting. I feel like things have kind of come down a bit. Like the 8 to the 4 makes me feel like we've boiled things down a little bit. It's where it's going to end up anyway. And I feel like when that comes in, things are going to go differently. Things are going to look different. Things are going to feel different. Can we get like Pisces feelings on this when they get there? When they get there. It's a partial success, and I'm not sure what to think about it. This is a moment that things have to reconstitute. Things are not bad at this point. I just feel like everything that happened up to this moment, I feel like that's where I'm like, it's a partial success. I feel like if you take it out of context and you don't look at everything that brought it to where it was, it would be an unbothered success. It would be a good success. I'd be like, oh, this is great, wonderful. Everything that led up to it, the emotional baggage leading up to it, that's what's kind of making it a partial success, if that makes sense. Kind of like, if I didn't know how we got where we got, I would love this. I think this was great. But knowing what I know, hearing what I've heard, things that were said to me, things that had been said to others, things that have been said by others, all of that stuff is kind of making me feel like where we are now is a partial success. Things are going through a healing phase. Something is kind of evolving forward. For a while, okay, this makes sense. For a while, you're going to be like, I don't know. For a while, I feel like I'm kind of like, I don't know if this, I don't know. I feel like you're going to have a few people around you that you're not really sure if you're comfortable with them or not anymore. I feel like there's some people around you where you're like, I used to just, when they said nice things to me, I just believed them. But after going through that episode of what I've just seen, I don't understand. I don't know if they really mean that. I don't know like why they say some of these things they say, because some of this just like sometimes when people say things when they're mad, people like to go, "Oh, it's just said in anger." But then again, when people say stuff in anger and it makes sense, like, "Oh, you said that and you were angry, but it makes sense about what you've been doing for the last 3 4 months." Because it kind of like links right up with your attitude for the last 3 4 months. I see why you've been acting that way if that's how you've been feeling. You follow me? Because I feel like the Pisces energy is going to look at this and go, "You're saying everything's cool now and none of that mattered, but I don't believe you." It doesn't feel like none of it mattered. It's going to take you a while to get used to it. There's a lot of love coming your way with the Knight of Cups. Somebody is trying to really save face here. You do matter a lot to somebody. And I feel like this is where we started. Like the Queen of Cups becomes the Knight of Cups, this energy. They're really trying to save face here. I feel like they got out of control, they got out of hand. You may have been the dumping ground emotionally for somebody else for a little while. You may have been the scapegoat, because this reminds me of like, I'm really angry with my husband, or I'm really angry with my wife or significant other or whoever. I'm really angry with this person, but I don't feel like I can fight that. I don't feel like I can say that. I don't feel like I can express that to them. So I have to find somewhere else to express this anger. Oh, Pisces, you look like a good target. Not like they're consciously doing that, but subconsciously, like they have to vent out this anger and they feel like they can do this to you. And they maybe have. And it's kind of like, I feel like they're trying to save face, like they don't want to explain like what was really going on and what they were actually angry about. But also they're trying to heal things with you. They're trying not to lose things with you. So it might be a little strange for a little while. It's weird because when I step back and look at it as a whole, I don't feel like this has to be that bad for you, ironically, in the sense of like it's happening. If it's either happening or it's not, watching this reading does not make it happen. It's kind of trying to help you kind of realize like you don't need to be cleaning up other people's messes. You don't need to be dragging yourself up and down the stairs. Do yourself a favor, step back from it, let other people do their own work. And then when it comes back around, give the situation a chance to heal itself. It's going to be a while before you're comfortable in it again, but it can be good again. And I feel like that's what we're saying with this. Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.